CNN's lonely conservative Scott Jennings just got a board appointment at the LA Times, one of the most significant cultural shifts that I've seen in news media. Just in case you don't remember who Scott Jennings is, we've covered him a bunch.
This is a mandate. He's won the national popular vote for the first time for a Republican, for the first time since 2004.
That opinion is not only rare at CNN, it's even more rare at the Times. But the Times is trying to keep from going under. Welcome to Doug in Exile. I'm Doug TeNapel. This is where the happy patriots are. If you guys have been following this channel, then you've already heard us feature.
All right, a major shakeup at the Los Angeles Times as billionaire owner Patrick Soon-Shiong prepares to replace some members of the editorial board. He says it's time for all voices to be heard.
So Patrick Soon-Shiong, we'll get into why there's actually openings on the board. It's not entirely, he didn't have to fire him. They quit over a big controversy. But I want to kind of emphasize how this is a bigger shift in broad culture of how we went from this mental slavery under Democrats. Really, while it peaked in the last 4 years, it's really been going on for 20 years in media bias, and they're starting to shake things loose. Here's the headline: CNN, Black Sheep, Scott Jennings tapped for controversial new role, and the liberals aren't happy about it. When are they happy about anything that involves free speech and having the other side able to be the one lone conservative out of hundreds at a newspaper?
We need to have all voices, the right, the left, and the moderate, the center. It's going to be risky and difficult.
Why is it risky and difficult for Patrick Soon-Shiong? He's the owner. He's terrified that they're going to bring on one conservative. You know who else is terrified? Is CNN. They could lose this guy. He's got to be the most valuable player now in all of CNN, from being the black sheep on the bottom to they better keep Scott Jennings. If you haven't seen him, I mean, he's incredibly talented, articulate, and fun. And now he's like most valuable player. He's going to be the number one guy at the LA Times.
I'm going to take a lot of heat, which I already am.
Yep.
But, you know, I come from the position that really it's important for all voices to be heard.
Whoa, radical. He believes all voices should be heard. By the way, as if Scott Jennings is some kind of tiny, singular, off minority vote. No, he represents half of America. Half of America believes like him. So when he says all voices should be heard, LA Times for the first time is going to bring in one board member who represents half of America. And the other hundreds of people that work at LA Times represent the other half. So it's 1 against 100. And he's terrified of liberals because liberals are totalitarian dictators and they despise free speech and they despise us having a microphone, which is why they keep reporting channels.
So when publisher Soon-Shiong recommended a pro and con comparison of Harris and Trump, 3 editors resigned in protest.
They resigned. What a bunch of crybabies. Just from him saying that both sides should be heard, they resigned. They're like, what kind of a rag is this? We don't support both sides. Here's my favorite tweet. This is from John Gabriel. He writes for Arizona Central sometimes. So this is over the headline, Scott Jennings joins LA Times editorial board. He writes, it's so hard for a newspaper to hire a conservative that it made national news. And that's true. LA Times going for Scott Jennings made national news. If you look up Scott Jennings on Google right now, you'll see 20 headlines going radical move by... This would be like Disney Plus hiring a straight white male to be an art director for their channel, or someone hiring me. Every company that went woke in DEI needs a bunch of conservatives to scrub the whole place clean and start bringing merit back to our culture. I'm Doug in Exile.